I would like to start by thanking the OTT platforms, especially the fantasy and superhero series. We all started to look for a magic wand, cape, and also a mask, a truly magical identity. I'm sure social media enables us to transform into superheroes within seconds. Once upon a time, I used to spend a lot of time in digital la la land looking for perfectly curated stories, highlight reels, and looking for a perfect stories that would resonate with me, seeking validations. Obviously, forgetting the real nature land. This is like while everybody is vibing and fluxing, I am still figuring out the difference between LOL and ROFL. How many of you can relate here, right? There will be many who is having this captive of digital prison. What if I told you I have pursued a different path which allowed me to find something meaningful, joyful, other than staying in the digital prison? I'm going to talk about Ikigai over likes. How do we wire connections in this digital age? Till 5 years ago, I was like this little mice running around the maze looking for my cheese. Happy about closing numbers, jumping at every sales closures I will have. Happy to see different stamps on my passports, living literally out of suitcase. Slowly, this thrilling pleasure became a thrilling pain. That's when I realized that I am not living anymore, I am merely existing in this. I have traded my 3 Fs, which is fame, fortune, and fun, for one thing that is more meaningful, which is nothing but fulfillment. How did I do that? I traded my high executive job for a position of intern in the field of psychology. That is how I discovered my Ikigai. Let us see what Ikigai is. For those who are unfamiliar, Ikigai is a Japanese term which roughly translates to reason for being, the reason why we exist. It is a sweet little spot of your passion, skills, values, and possibilities that intersect. It is like, how do I call it? Aladdin's magic lamp. The genie comes out and it helps you find out what you love, what you got, what is it that the world needs, what you can contribute. That is what this genie does. Now, you might be wondering, what is Ikigai to do with the likes? Maybe in a hyper-connected world, we all forget to see our own Ikigai when we start to chase. According to neuroscience, what they say is every like we get, every notification we have in social media, it is a dopamine rush to your brain. Your brain is wired for rewards. And your social media, digital platforms uses this brilliantly by endless scrolling, likes, comments, whatnot. Though it is all good in a way, we also get into an infinite loop. If you get a lot of likes, what do? We want more. And we become addicted. If we don't get, we become dejected. And what do? We try even harder. Even the statistics are so alarming. Some part of the world, 34% of the population is addicted to social media. On an average, all of us spend 2 hours on social media, the bare minimum. How do we break free from this? The answer could be to have a Ikigai, which is your happiness. How do we understand the Ikigai? For us to see the purpose, we need to first understand why do we exist in the digital world? What is it that is attracting us there? For example, Ikigai has, say, what you love. It could be relating to your long desires. A like could be a currency for validation. An agitated mail from an employee could be a need for recognition. Somebody who is texting over talk, maybe he or she doesn't want to show the emotion, right? So that when you don't get what happens is that you get into a feeling of loneliness and the emptiness. The second part basically is what you got or what are the skills you have. That could be nothing but what you should have, but obviously you don't have. So in that case, what happens? There is a necessity for validation, looking for recognition, and you want to be at top. The third one, which is nothing but what is the world wants. This is nothing but your own perceptions. Maybe a distortion of reality where you are having everything looking so perfect around you. Does the perfection exist? Maybe, may not be for many of us. The irony is that while looking for perfection, we lose the sight of the beauty of imperfection, the need to be authentic, and the need to define success in our own terms. The last one is what is it the world wants, which could be contributing to the actions like chasing trends, adopting different personas, trying to be ideal, portraying ideal, I would say, into the world. That leads to a confusion of choices. And how many times we all have thought, am I in the right path? Which is very, very, very important, right? We do. Now I have said there is a reason for existence into social media. Does it give us a reason how we find Ikigai in the connections? How do we rewire our connections in real life? How do we break free from this virtual world? The answer is flow. What is flow? Let me quote from Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna says that be like ocean, not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires for you to achieve happiness and peace. Even Lord of Martial Arts, Bruce Lee, says the same. Do you know what he says? He says, be water, my friend. This metaphor actually tells us that look at the flow of life's ebbs and flows rather than getting ourselves clutched into the digital shadows. How do we do that? As I said, it is flow. F actually means face the fear. I'm sure all of you know what is FOMO. Fear of missing out, right? The moment a small disconnect from the system, we start to feel bad. Oh, I'm missing something. There is an update from somebody. Maybe my friend has gone somewhere. There is a post, right? That connection that the world gives, we start to miss out. How about we replace FOMO by JOMO? Joy of missing out, right? What we do there is have a consensus to yourself of disconnect. Acknowledge it, acknowledge the fear, but don't get consumed by it. Have a joy by having the disconnect there. That could be one way. Is learn to look. You know, we are all happy, content with the content that we see. We miss the present moment's beauty. Once Buddha was asked, how are you always so happy? Buddha responded saying, I eat, I sleep, I walk. All of us eat, sleep, walk, right? But Buddha said, I only eat when I eat. I only sleep when I sleep. I only walk when I walk. That is the beauty of the present moment, my friends. I'm not going to ask you to meditate. All I am saying is, when you are eating food, the Mean Girls or the Squid Games episodes can wait, right? The WhatsApp messages, email escalations can take a backseat. When you are having a conversation with your loved ones, focus there. Use your senses to adapt to nature. That could be one way to find your Ikigai. Wo is organized to order. There is a beautiful method called KonMari method. It is for decluttering your things at house. What it does is, it says, don't discard your old clothes or things. Whatever is not useful, don't do that. Instead, ask a simple question. Does it spark a joy in you even today? If so, retain it. Else, discard it. Apply this KonMari method to your digital declutter. Any app you use, any time you spend on digital media, ask yourself, does it still spark a joy in a joy scale that you can have? That could be a way to reclaim your time to yourself. The last one, W, widen the worldview. You know, the real connections are done by human interactions like we do, and the genuine connections. Neuroscience, there is a concept called mirror neuron. What they say is, we human learn from others by observing. We develop empathy, we develop emotions by observing and interacting with others. There are studies that says that in a virtual environment, mirror neurons don't activate so much. I am sure, right? That's why virtual relationship maybe is not lasting very long. Surely, LOL or a emoji of laugh is not going to convey the depth of the heartfelt laugh. So create your own circle of connections. It could be anything, right? Maybe the gym, maybe the community, maybe a solo trip, maybe a walk, whatever that suits you. Develop a vision board for your circle of connect. So that is what the flow is. In summary, all you do is choose life over likes. You ensure that your Ikigai is unique to yourself. It has a potential to ignite your soul. It may be different for you, different for me, different for somebody else sitting out there. All you need to do is promise to ourselves to disconnect to reconnect, choose the real ones over the virtual ones, live a life that is fulfilling, not just filling. The digital destiny is in your hands. You do that by flowing, by being here and now. That is why dogs are happy animals than we human beings. Thank you.